Hey buddy, it's time. It's time to castrate Brownie, our little bull calf. It may actually be a little overdue. Some people recommend you wait longer to castrate a bull because they say that they get a stronger start and they grow faster and healthier. Other people very practically recommend you castrate pretty early. I'm hoping that we're splitting the difference and finding a good balance here. If you wait too long, obviously, you're gonna be dealing with an animal that's way stronger than you are. And Brownie is way bigger than the goats, but I don't think he can out-wrestle me quite yet. Some of you will ask why castrate the calf, like why do that terrible thing to him? And I'll pretty much tell you, biggest reason is safety. You don't want to raise a bull on your place to a year and a half, have a bull around your kids, a bull around your other animals, unless you really have to, unless you really want a bull. I've chosen to cut, not to band. Banding is where you put really tight rubber bands around the scrotum. It basically cuts off the blood supply and then they wither and die. I don't like the idea of having that dead tissue attached to living tissue, even if it's for just a few days. So I've got to catch him. I'm going to put him in this goat milking station to restrain him. I'm hoping to not get kicked too bad because yes, they will kick you and it does hurt. Okay, so he may be stronger than I am. I had hands on him twice and he got away. So I'm gonna try to run him in between this gate and that wall and then tie the gate up so he actually can't get out. Alright, this should feel as much like a safe place as being restrained can. And I've got this, he's a little big, so I've got this table here in case he tries to kick me. I'm going to grab his scrotum and I can feel both of his testicles are descended. And what I'm going to simply do, I don't think you'll be able to see this very well, is grab the bottom of his scrotum and I'm going to cut it off. All done. We're gonna spray him really good with iodine and make sure it gets back up in there. I'm gonna open this door, cut this string. All right, buddy, there you go. That was actually way harder than I thought it was gonna be. I've done this before, but I've done it on a little bit younger calves. I'll just tell you what I did there, just so you know, is I cut the bottom of the scrotum off with a knife. And you need to make sure the testicles are down and make sure they stay down because they can retract and then you can't get to them. And then pulled each testicle down, stretching the cord it's attached to, and pull and pop it off. The reason you do this is because it actually causes less blood loss than cutting the whole thing off. The idea is that pulling and then the cord snapping back actually causes a contraction which can reduce bleeding. Whew, that was a little bit of a challenge though, but it's done. And there's the proof that it's done, 1 and 2. I'm just coming out to check, make sure he's not bleeding too bad, and he's not. He does have iodine dripping, but he's not dripping any blood or anything. So now we can't call Brownie the bull calf anymore. It's Brownie the steer. I know someone's gonna ask, so I might as well answer. Why wouldn't you suture the calves' scrotum up? And the answer is real simple. Basically, you want it open. If you were to suture it closed in a setting like a barnyard, it would lead to an inevitable infection, and you'd have to open it back up anyway. So you actually want the scrotum open, it'll drain out, and then it will kind of shrink up and dry up and heal on its own. I'm just gonna check on these chickens and ducks and goose up here. Donald, how's it going, buddy? What's happening up here? I actually wanted to tell you something kind of funny. I actually named this rooster today. I named him Clyde, and it's because he's always running around with this really cute little chick. He's always running around with this little black hen down here. So of course she'll have to be Bonnie and Clyde. The funny thing about this little rooster, I didn't even know he was a rooster. I thought he was a hen. And then we've had a couple roosters kind of get knocked down from the top notch of the pecking order, either get killed, get injured in fights. And now that really there's not another rooster who's just dominating, Clyde has really stepped up. And I'm actually pretty sure he's grown new tail feathers. Suddenly, here's this rooster running around. The funny thing, and why I call them Bonnie and Clyde, the funny thing is that they're constantly getting out, and they always are roaming around the yard together, just the two of them, roaming around, trying to get into trouble. You know, when all the other chickens are in their pens, Bonnie and Clyde are out on the loose. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm gonna call this it for the day. I wanted to just say hey to all of our Patreon supporters. I mentioned this yesterday. I put a new video up on Patreon, long overdue, and it's on how making connections with people can actually help you in buying a rural property or a farm. And there's a link in the description to our Patreon account. It's been another great day on the homestead. Thank you all so much for joining us and for being faithful viewers, subscribers, and friends. Goodbye.